In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make marled yarn using your Caron big cakes or any Caron cakes in order to create that gradation look that appears in marled yarn. But what is marled yarn? Let me show you. So here are examples of marled yarn. So marled yarn is when two plies or more are a different color. So you can see that there's one ply here that is more of a cream and then the other ply is more of a gray. So this is called marled. Here you can see that this has a gradation of yarn, and you can see clearly in one strand is that you see a darker color green and then a lighter color yellow, and you'll see that it changes. Also you can see it in the Patons Croy socks as well. You can see that the plies are a different color. So the art of marled yarn is when two or more plies are a different color from each other, and you can create that look within Caron cakes. So this is Caron big cakes, and you can see that it's a 4-ply worsted like so, and you can see that the colors are awesome, but you'll notice that each one of the strands inside of the 4-ply are the same color. So you're thinking, well, how do you get marled yarn out of this? The trick is that you're going to add this yarn plus another yarn that is a different color with this at the same time to create the marled look. So here I'm working on the marled basket, and you can see that I have marled my yarn together. So I have two strands working at the exact same time. But you know what? They're from the exact same yarn ball that I'm going to do that with, and I'm gonna explain why I've done that versus having two separate balls going at the same time. So you can see that when you do this is that you'll see that it mixes up its colors just like so, but sometimes, you know, once in a while you may have the two colors line up completely, which gives you a beautiful look, and then one will change and then it will start changing again and be awesome. So let's see what it looks like on the bottom, just like you see when I started. So you can see that it kind of mixed up right in the middle and then it got out, and see how the colors are mixed, and then at one point the grays kind of lined up, but the grays are a different tone depending where it is on the ball, and then it changes over. So you create your own marled look using two strands of Caron cakes. So you have two options. You can either use two balls or you can use the same ball, and because of the shape of the Caron cakes you can actually use one ball and get an even better look, and I'll explain the differences. So on screen is the sprinkle cakes just like you see here, and then here the other one is the tea cakes. And so I could just put them together and I'm gonna operate them like they're as one strand. Okay, so let me just chain. So because these are two different yarn balls, what happens is that the yarn always favors the positioning of your hands. So depending where the yarn ball is off camera here is that the yarns just tend to stay in the same organization. So you see how the green is kind of up top? Well, the green ball is up towards me and the other ball is this way. So therefore this green will end up being in that position more often than not. You can see that it slightly twists when it goes into the actual chain itself, but you see that the green really never changes position. So therefore you never really get a true marled spun look. You just get a mixing of colors, and this is not a bad thing. But if you're looking for true marled, you're gonna want to be very organized with your balls in order to have the natural spin happen. So how do you spin yarn at home? So using my Caron big cakes, I still have the ball band on, and what I have is that the designer Nicole was telling me that the best way to do marled yarn with the Caron cakes is the way that it's shaped. So what you want to do is that you want to grab the inside strand that's coming from the inside, and you want to remove the ball band. Hopefully there's no double take of this one so I don't have to put that back on, and you're gonna grab the outside strand here. I just happened to get that right. So what you want to do is that you want to put the two strands together like they're one. So what you want to do now that you have the strands in your hand here, I want you to place the ball onto the floor beside you that leads up to your feeding hand of your crochet hook. And there's a reason for that. Let me explain. So the reason why I want you to put it on the floor is that when you pull up, you're gonna notice that the inside string pulls from the inside of the ball, of course, but look what's happening with the outside strand. It's rotating around the ball. So this rotation around the ball creates the yarn for this outside to be spinning around the middle. So therefore when it comes up to your hand, and if you put it onto the floor, by the time it comes up to your hand, the yarn will have a slight twist to it like this. Okay, nothing too serious. Okay, it's for a twist, but it will have a slight twist and it will have a better mix of looking into the project. So instead of one yarn always favoring a certain position in your hand, because there's always a twist, you're going to notice that when you're operating with this, they'll stay together better in your crochet hook, but they'll also be mixed better in your project as well. So with the ball positioned on the floor, and I'm gonna have a tutorial available for this, I'm doing the prototype now, is that when I go to work on it, the yarns will stay together as if they're one, and you'll play together as if they're one, and it will create that beautiful spun look as it's coming onto your hands. So instead of the yarn always favoring a certain position in your hands, it will always be kind of spinning and rotating in order to create the more gradation look. So the trick is that you want to position your yarn in a certain way to when you go to start, is that the yarn colors will change on its own. So let's talk a little bit about that, and let's how to fake it or make it in order to start properly. So we're looking at the color. What happens if this color is the same as the outside color? You don't want that. You want it to be incremental so that at least this color is changing at a different length than the other. So I'm looking at the outside here and I have a lot of this color here. So for example, say that I had the same color working on the outside of this ball. What I'll just do is that I'll peel back and I'll just reach in and I'll pull out most of this color here. So for example, say it was the same color and I'm gonna pull it out. Don't you dare waste it. We don't like wasting yarn. So we're gonna leave that aside and we'll use it different somewhere else in this project down the road. So what you wanna just do is just pull out the center until you get to the next color that you see here. So therefore you can actually have it aligned. So what you can do is that when this color comes back into play somewhere else on the ball, what you'll do is add it to that particular section at this point. So you'll, when this color it comes in, add this back in and then use it. Even though this length will be a little bit longer at the time that you're doing it, it doesn't really matter as long as these colors don't line up. So somewhere in the project you'll see that colors will overlap over top of each other. So you can see that the browns overlapped each other for a small time frame. This creates more of an accenting color and it can be really awesome. The goal is that if you start the ball at the exact same color as each other, what's gonna happen is that your whole project will actually look solid, 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 solid instead of getting the gradation look. If that's the look you are going for, then that's the perfect way to go. But because yarn strands can be really flexible in size, they won't always line up if that's exactly what the method that you want to go. So what I would recommend to you is that when you go to start the yarn ball, just be very incremental, making sure that the colors don't start off in the same level so that it can just gradate out. You can see that the grays kind of lined up each other for a bit and then it switched back out as the colors were changing, just like so. So when you go to use the outside of this ball and the inside, eventually you're gonna end up partially way through here, and so the very final sections of this will probably be the same color because the yarns will line up to each other when it comes and uses it all the way to the ball, to the middle section. So this is how you create your own marled yarn, and it's a really kind of an awesome thing. And I never knew this term until Saturday night reveal party, and I had to look that up and I realized that it's actually pretty cool. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarn Inspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.